Talk about that.
Sure. So there are a lot of different ways to farm. And traditionally, recently, farming has only occurred on very large parcels with huge tractors and thousands of acres. And there are some things that can only be grown that way, commodity crops. But there are other ways to grow, and there are ways that you can utilize very small spaces in the city, growing intensively. But not everybody sees that, and it's going to take a bit of a shift in thinking about farming and what farming means and what we can actually do with the space we have around us in order to make that possible. And, I mean, people are doing it, but very few people think of farming as this small scale, in the city, intensive growing. I mentioned Cuba. Cuba was a good example of a place that did that. They had to do it. They were cut off from the Soviet Union at the end of the Cold War, and they had no fuel and no fertilizers anymore, and they had to start growing organically where people lived because they couldn't even ship it around the island because they had no fuel. So, I don't know how that shift can happen. I feel like it's happening very slowly. I'm sure a huge crisis would make that shift happen very quickly. I don't want to see that happen, but that's what would change things if suddenly people were going hungry, and not just the poorest people, but there was a real lack of food for everyone to eat. We would start thinking about food very differently, and you'd be surprised how quickly little farms will pop up everywhere. Everyone will be growing their own food. Back in during the World War II era, we had a huge gardening push, and it was pushed by the federal government to encourage people to grow. And we went from something like growing like 30% of our vegetables in urban areas to like 60%. In the course of like 2 years.
Right.
Bam! All of a sudden, so many people were producing so much of their own food, or like 30% more of their own food. Again, that was kind of a crisis situation that encouraged people to do it. And policy.
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, the urban farming movement, I think it will continue to grow. I don't think it's a fad, but it won't grow quickly, and it might not fill as many gaps, as many niches as much. It won't grow as much food as we could if we had something pushing us to do that.